Lance, I'll be right back on once I figure this dude out. Tell me what it looks like. You see that? How's the view there? Get out. If you interrupt me in the next half hour, you're gonna be in deep shit. You understand that? Let's get you something. Right now. You want Captain Crunch? If you fucking about it, you want to go on the next half hour, you'll be in deep shit. All right, how we looking there, Lance?
I can't. Are you live? I can't see you.
Yeah, I'm live on Facebook. I haven't put it on.
I'm on the YouTube right now. I don't see you. Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
All right, hold on. Let me figure out how to. Let me share all of this first of all. All right, we got to get off the phone, dog. We got one person on. All right, I'm gonna hang up. Text me.
All right.
Any problems?
Yo, yo, yo. We waiting for folks to get on. We're gonna get into the talk in a couple seconds. Let me get a good of people on. I see. Oh, okay, I can see the comments this time. I'm trying to figure this out. Word. Appreciate you, Murph. My guy, you're wilding. Pause. Pause. All right. What's going on, folks? It's Coach Career, the General, 860 Army. Tonight's topic is going to be middle of the field coverages. We're going to talk about it from a one high look. We're going to talk about cover one and the two or three cover three variations, probably just a country cover three, spot drop, and then a sort of a match cover three. I'll probably show you a couple different ways you could get into base pressures and maybe some of the fire zone stuff, 3 deep, 3 under stuff. I don't know, but I'm going to try to be off in 20 minutes. So if you got any questions, just put them in the comments or get them to Lance Washington, LJ Washington on Facebook, and he'll message me and I'll try to answer the questions. If you guys want to talk ball after, LJ has set up a private group off the forum and I'll answer all your questions in detail. This is all going to be entry-level stuff. I'm not going to try to get too deep over your head, but we're going to go over some base concepts and a little bit of philosophy stuff, because I believe it presents a little better if you understand why I play things the way I play them and why I choose odd structure and prefer to play middle of the field coverage. So the first thing we're going to talk about is how do you play middle of the field coverage and why you play middle of the field coverage. Me, when I started understanding defensive football, everybody thinks you just line your defense up and you plug gaps and you just attack the football. That's not how it works. To play good defense, it's more about leveraging a formation correctly. I put up this split back pro up here because it's the easiest way for me to explain to you guys what these guys' responsibilities are in the coverage game. It's easier to dissect it and for me to draw it up because you can see exactly where your passing threats are. You got 1, 2, 3 to the right, basically. We start our numbering system from the outside in. So this will be number 1, number 2, number 3 to the strong side. To the weak side, we got number 1 and number 2 in the backfield. That's important. We number them from the sideline across. That's important to how we leverage the football field. That's the first part, identifying the threats. The second part is, since we're a one-high team, we're a one-high free safety team, even though we have 2 safeties in our base 3-4 look. We drop the strong safety low so he can help in the run. It gives us an 8-man box, and we could do some things with him in the coverage game and in the blitz game. And we got 2 corners, obviously. Now, how do we protect the middle of the field? Because when you're playing cover 1, the most important thing about cover 1 and cover 3 is making sure that you protect the middle of the field via run or pass. How do you protect the middle of the field? Well, you're going to protect them by how you leverage your corners and how you leverage the strong safety related to the threats. Okay, we got a tight end to the right here. We got 2 backs, 2 receivers. Obviously, they could get power run to the tight end side. How do we match numbers with that? We bring the strong safety down. In base cover 1, strong safety is always going to have number 2. Number 2 is the tight end, so this is his man. He will make his alignment based off of the tight end. What are we doing with our corners? Based on the imaginary divider that's about 10 yards off the sideline, that's how the corners will understand where they're going to leverage, whether it's inside technique, outside technique. If this corner is outside that divider at 10 yards, he's going to play inside leverage. That way, the seams don't get too great for this free safety. He will play inside leverage. If this receiver is inside that divider, he's going to play on top of him with outside leverage. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, like I said, ask the question. We're playing middle of the field football, so we have to protect the middle of the field. How we're going to do that is with our strong safety, free safety, and 2 corners. That's where it's going to start. So if that receiver is outside the divider, this corner needs to play inside technique. If he's inside the divider, he needs to play outside technique, because if he's way in closer to the free safety, those seams can't get too big. We need to help the free safety with protecting 2 in the seam. That's the bottom line. You're going to hear me say that redundantly over and over. We're not going to let any vertical threats get in the seam because we're going to protect the middle of the field because we have 1 high safety. So where these receivers line up in relation to that divider tells you what their technique is going to be. So strong safety is usually going to play about 3-by-3 off this tight end. It's tough to see it on the whiteboard because it's not in real time. So this is about a 3-by-3 split. Probably a little bit more out here, but you don't want him to get too far outside because he's got to be able to cap and reroute and redirect 2 in the seam. So he's going to be about 3-by-3. His key is number 2. If he gets a down block, he's in on fast support right now. If he gets vertical, strong safety gets vertical. But that's just so a base understanding of what you got. So you got one. This is we'll talk cover one rat. We're gonna start with cover one rat in the hole. You got corner locked up on number one. Corner's locked up on number one. Strong safety is on number two. The will to the weak side has two out the backfield. Okay, so we're all matched up there. We got one remaining back. We could put the buck on them. And here's your rat in the hole. Okay? Rat in the hole means, because he's playing deep over everything, he's going to play the low hole. Okay? And then we're matching up across the front. See how that matches up? Corners on one. We got the will on two. Buck on three. Strong safety on two to the play side. Corner on number one. So right there, you're in man coverage with a free safety, cover one with the rat in the hole, who happens to be the Mike. Now, this is in match. If we want to add pressure to this, gonna have to get rid of the rat in the hole, and whoever's coming via bat, Mike, or strong safety, the other guy has to pick up his man. It has to be an assignment switch. This Sam in the 3-4 probably would play a little harder on that tight end. I'd probably play him more outside half, closer. Okay, so this is base cover one. Here's all the matches for it. With your rat in the hole, who's the Mike linebacker. Now, if you wanted to switch that and they go to the gun or whatever, you could use him as a spy. But once he's a spy, it's no longer cover one rat. We want an extra player playing the low hole, which the high hole is the free safety. The Mike is the low hole player. He's looking to poach anything coming across or kill crossers, reroute them, help in the run game. If we need to put him on the quarterback, we can. Now, if you want to bring the will, let's say you want to bring the will hot. Bring the will hot. You could try to run the Mike out on number two, and now he becomes your whole player. I'm just trying to show you how you get to your whole player. The remaining guy that's not in the pressure, especially when you're a 3-4 structure, for us to get to a base pressure, somebody always has to come. Usually, to start with, I'll either bring the Sam and the Will, because especially the Sam, because we have the strong safety on number two that also gives us fast support. But if we wanted to switch the assignment on the back end and put the Mike on two out the backfield, he got two out. He's going to have to run, get on his horse, rally to the flat. Will comes now, the buck backer becomes the whole player. And here you go to your one rat. Cover one, free safety, playing over the top of everything. Strong safety on number two, corners on number one. You bring in the Will hot, Mike's going to run out on number two if two gets wide. So that's two simple variations. If we wanted to play base, we're going to bring the Sam. The Sam's going to be hot. I'm just going to redraw this so it doesn't get too muddy on you guys. We're going to bring the Sam hot. If we're bringing the Sam, front's going to always work away to balance the pressure. We got corners on number one, strong safety on number two again. Back out, Buck got him. Two, Will got him. We got a receiver, corner's going to be locked up on number one. Now, again, here's your rat player. The Mike to the backside becomes your rat. Free safety's going to play low. If we get some kind of coverage combinations, for instance, because we have a middle of the field player here, and we get inside by release by number two, strong safety is not going to carry him across the field because we have a collision player in front of him. So the rat will see two go inside. Strong safety starts yelling, two inside, crosser. Now that rat knows that he has to collision the crosser or reroute him. That way we give the pressure a chance to get there. So that's a huge deal if number 2 tries to get across the field. He has to collision him and reroute him. We don't want no crossers there. Because, again, while we're in the coverage to protect middle of the field, even against the run, the way we're leveraged, we're going to be strong in the middle of the field. If you're going to try to beat this coverage, you need to go deep outside or into the flat fast. But as you see, the way we're matched up, we're going to have players to cover it. So we're going to be good on the back end. So that's a little bit of cover 1 with a couple different pressure variations. Now we could get into what some will call country cover 3, spot drop cover 3, which again will be with a 4-man pressure. And then I'll show you the variation of cover 3 I like to play. I believe at our level to bring 5-man pressures and not 4, but that's a topic for another day. So base cover 3, country cover 3, spot drop cover 3, whatever you want to call it. I don't play it this way, but this is the base way for you guys to understand when people talk about zone coverage and maybe zone pressures. Usually a pressure is going to be 4 or more people. Because we're in the eye front, where the 3-4 gets tricky is we always got to get to the 4th guy. So whether it's Buck, Mike, Will, Sam, we have to add that into the verbiage. So we're going to keep it real simple and consistent. And we'll talk about, we're going to go Buck 3, spot drop Buck 3. So because we're bringing the Buck, we're going to have him punch the A-gap, nose works away, up the field. We're going to have a flat player, third player, hook player, flat player again. So there's your 3 deep. 1, 2, 3, 4 under. In base zone, these guys need to drop. The top of their drop has to be at 10 yards. So let's say that's an imaginary line here across. These guys got to get to their 10-yard drop and settle. This is spot drop, country cover 3. Settle, extended the flat. Settle, extended the flat. Corners, again, based on where the number 1 receivers are on the divider, dictates their technique. In this match concept here, it's not match, in this zone concept here, you're going to have 2 flat players, the strong safety and the Will, and you got 2 hook players with the Sam and the Mike playing underneath. So here's your 4 underneath defenders. So you got 3 deep, 4 under, base 4-man pressure, spot drop 3. I don't like playing it this way because when you have kids run the spots, you get a lot of free runners in the passing lanes. I like to play it a little different. This is just for you to understand base coverage. I would play this more in a match concept, meaning we're going to relate to the passing threats. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So how we would do it. Because it plays more, it's simpler to teach match with cover 1 because it's sort of zone manish. You'll see what I'm talking about. Again, strong safety has 2, corners got 1. Corners got 1. Depending on the pressure, the remaining guys will split the backs, and then we're going to still get a whole player. So let's say we're going to bring the mic this time. We'll bring the mic, punch, hold. Now, in 3 match, these guys are going to drop. The zone defenders are going to drop based on the release of the receivers, who they match up with. Strong safety's on 1. Buck is on number 3 to the passing side. Mike is into the pressure. Will got 2 wide or 2 vertical. That's what his drop's going to relate. If he gets vertical, he's got to fold and try to catch this receiver, stay off the top. He's not just going to go chase and run out in air like in base zone. If we get some kind of route combination out, up and out, this strong safety is, in this situation, strong safety is have to become the hook player, because we got a match player here. We got a route combination here. Let's say he goes out. We know Buck relates to 3, so he's going to drop, run out on the flat. Our strong safety has to run out on the flat here because he's matching up with number 2. Does that make sense? So now when he's playing zone, he's playing with his eyes in the backfield. If he gets the outside release by number 2, he's going to run out and get on the flat. We got a go route by number 1. Our corner is going to cap him, play over the top of him. Same thing here. Go route. Let's say we get seams on the backside. We got the wheel folded in. We still got our deep third player here. Corner caps number 1. So that's the easiest way to match up. Now they're dropping. They're not running on grass, running to a spot, waiting for people to come to them. They're going to kind of squeeze the air out of the play by matching up wherever their match goes. Their drop is going to go based on the release of the guy they're matched up with. So that's another way to play it. You could spot drop it the way I showed you the first time, or you could match it up and try to condense the throwing areas. All the while, again, we're still protecting the middle of the field. Still protecting the middle of the field. Mike gone. He runs out on 3. We got the strong safety on 2. Now, Sam is a free player in this situation. So if Sam has got nothing coming, we're all matched up, you could add Sam to this pressure and bring a 5-man pressure. Or you could sit him, drop him in the hook to help protect the middle of the field. I mean, there's things you could do with the Sam. Me, I'd probably just add him and try to make the quarterback throw the ball fast. So these are base 4-man pressures. Another way to play cover 3 is a zone pressure, what they call a fire zone, which is going to be 3 deep, 3 under, which is what we live and die in. My personal teams that I coach, all our pressures will be 5-man pressures. So I gave you 4-man pressures out of cover 1, a couple 4-man pressures out of cover 3, zone and match. Now we're going to talk about 3 deep, 3 under stuff, which is where we make, which is our bread and butter. So the first way we'll talk about is just the basic America's Blitz. America's Blitz is going to be a long stick on the front side. We're going to punch the B gap. We're going to bring the Sam hot off the edge. Okay, nose works away from the call. We got a contained player here. So we got 5 people into the pressure. This is great run stopping stuff and passing pass blitzes. These blitzes here can stop the run or the pass. So there's your pressure. You got the end long sticking in the A, trying to collapse the front. We're running a B gap player. We got the Sam coming hot off the edge. Now we got 3 remaining linebackers to help balance out the coverage underneath. We got our third players. Then we're going to have a slot dropper, hole dropper. Look what we got again. We got strong protection up the middle of the field to help against anything vertical. And we got 3 players deep. Now, the key to this is making sure number 2 gets no free release in the seam. So that means the strong safety is just not dropping out in the slot. Who's his match? His match is number 2. 2 gets into the seam. He got to get into the seam and reroute this guy so the free safety has a chance to stay over the top of everything. What I mean by reroute, if he's going to get a vertical release within 10 yards, he's got to collision them and get him out of the seam, whether he runs him inside or runs him wide outside. Not so much outside. We got to force this guy back inside where our help is. This free safety is our help. Same thing with the will to this side. If he gets a vertical release from number 2, he's got to come and get this guy out the seam. We can't get him out the seam. If he gets wide, that's an easy match for him. He's going to run wide on him because that's his player. Playing the slot drop means you got to play the seam, curl, and flat. We call it skiffing. You got to hold the seam. You got to hold the curl, run out to the flat. Hold the seam, hold the curl, run out to the flat. Then we got our whole player here helping the free safety. Again, he's a poach player. Anything he sees coming across, he's got to try to collision. He's got to try to collision or reroute anything coming across to help with our middle of the field coverage. So I'll redraw that up because it does get real cloudy quick. Talking about America's Blitz. Hot. Okay, now we got 3 deep, 3 under. Right? We talked about it. Okay, we set 5 in the pressure. We get a vertical release from number 2. Let's say we get outside release. Outside release. Let's say they add this guy into it. And you think, for the looks of it, we're short a man on the flat play. We do have a strong safety that can get there. But if he becomes too much of a threat and he can't get there, you just switch these guys' assignments. Now you can have him creep, show, and go, come hot, run him out on the flat. You're still in the 5-man pressure, still with the same 3 deep, 3 under philosophy that we just talked about before. It's always knowing how you match up those players that are not in the pressure, who they match up with. And then their drop is going to be reflective of the release of the guy they're matching up with. If you guys got any questions, like I said, put it to LJ. He's going to start a private room after where we can really talk ball. Really, talk about this stuff, and I could get in all the nuts and bolts of everything else that goes on. But this was just 3 or 4 quick ways I'll show you how to play odd structure football and some of the variations of things you could do within the structure without changing anything. Hold on, I think we got a question. Someone asked if safety or Sam is reading the flat. Nephew's asking that question. What do you mean, Josh? Like, you got to be specific. Depending on the pressure is going to tell you who's the flat player, who's involved in the pressure. The Sam is usually hot. Like, if it's a base call and we got nothing going on, the Sam is the guy I want in the run game more times than not. So if we don't, like, we're in a situation, let's say it's 1st and 10, and we're not sure what we want to do, the default call is going to be Sam 1 or 3. That means the Sam is coming as the 4th guy, and he's going to be aggressive because we got a strong safety to his side that's going to play the slot hook to curl or curl to flat, depending on what we're doing. More times than not, we're going to bring 5, though. I'm not going to be too much. The only time you'll see me in 4-man pressures is when we definitely play in coverage. We know you're passing, and we're trying to either pick the ball off or we're not letting you get nothing deep. Like, that's when, me personally, I'm going to run 4-man pressures. For the most part, though, we're bringing 5, and we're going to play 3 deep, 3 under. But just know your Sam player of the 2, the Sam in the will, is your more aggressive player. More times than not, he's coming. You want him coming. That's why he's there. He's your strong side linebacker. You want him to force the action and make plays. You want your Sam and strong safety and anything 4-3, 3-4. You want those guys being your better players, and you want them in position to make plays. So I hope you guys got something out of this. If there's any more questions, we're going to try to start a private chat room through the forum, and we'll talk some football. If not, message me on Facebook Message me on Facebook, hit me on Instagram, hit me wherever, Twitter, hit me on YouTube, and we'll get to talking football. It's always a pleasure. Peace to the guys. Your boy Coach Career. Until next week. Middle of the field coverages. I'll holler at y'all. Have a good evening.